It's so crazy how we have these scenarios and these ways of thinking in our mind that is totally true to us. Not based on truth. I don't want to talk to them because they're going to make me talk about something I don't want to talk. So I'm just going to avoid them at all costs. I know so many people that experience this avoidant attachment style, and it really affects how they show up in their friendships. So
emotions are so big and erratic that they literally had to make a crime about it. Crime of passion. If you let that emotion of passion gets too big, it can force you to commit malice towards another individual.
A feeling that we often can have that can control everything is fear. I know at the base of most of my decisions was fear for a long time, for a majority of my life. You seem like you're easygoing because you're not saying anything.
Fine.
I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm
but
good.
Deep down,
I'm
you're
great.
like,
I'm not fine.
The Arthur fist is on the inside of you. Life, gon' life, be life, and did life, will life, has life, life.
So how does conflict avoidance show up in our friendships? It can look like a lot of things, but it definitely looks like avoiding hard conversations. Upstairs in the bed eating Wendy's because
she took her food to her room. She never does that.
I'm eating in the bed and I got an attitude. I'm like, I don't know why she think I have an attitude. She just getting on my nerves or something in my mind. I'm just irritated. And I was just like, what is wrong with me? I'm so mad.
You are creating a narrative based off of the emotions that you're having.
Yes.
Where your emotions are true, but the narrative is not. Yeah. Like, you don't have to be like, here's my life story. And
that's not safe, right?
That's
you should
not,
vet people.
Yeah.
That's why you have to have a relationship with God, because sometimes you so disconnected from your feelings because maybe you grew up in a house, nobody cared about your feelings, whatever. Who knows?
It happens. People aren't reliable. No, that person wasn't reliable.
Yes. That's what fear does. False evidence appearing real.
Yes.
It's this big, ugly monster. Like, they're gonna hate you.
You can have moments of disagreement that don't have to be these big blowouts.
Feelings aren't facts. They are not facts. If you just let your feelings go crazy, you don't feel like going to work, but you get up and go. That's what friendship and connection does. Like, it makes us better. You cannot get better on your own by yourself all the time. It's only so much you can do. Relationship and connection is meant to refine you.
Now y'all know anybody can call you a friend, but not everybody shows up. So if you're down with the fake connection, Friendship University is the place to be, to learn, to grow, to laugh and build your community. Don't wait another minute, we're about to start. Don't listen, cause we're coming from the heart. Grab a break, grab a pen, cause we're back again. With the laugh and the lesson, sit down cause class is in session.
Welcome back to another episode of the Friendship University Podcast. You know, the number one podcast that teaches you how to have the friendships that you truly want. We are back for another week, and we're so happy to have you here. For those firstly tuning in or our new subscribers, I'm Christan, and this is my lovely co-host, Tarrah. I'm going to say that every week because I mean it, because she is so lovely.
Isn't she lovely?
She could be on a Dark and Lovely box.
Oh my
Y'all
God, so
remember
sweet.
that? Yes,
likewise.
Absolutely. I love
Motions,
it.
remember?
Oh my gosh. Somebody said a story one time of you remember what used to be in that pink bottle?
Lustrous.
Mm-hmm. Somebody said they daddy, I guess they didn't know, put that on their face and they broke out trying to moisturize them when they was young.
Lotion.
They thought it was
hair lotion.
It was hair lotion. I say,
skincare lotion.
Not skincare lotion, but
just
yes.
like I seen a guy that was saying that he was using. He was using some oil sheen spray to cook his food because it said olive oil. He thought it was cooking oil, but it was oil.
Oh my God!
Hairspray, the olive oil.
Oh my God!
He said, "I've been cooking my eggs with this all week."
Oh, it didn't taste funny. You wasn't like, there's a little hot cone taste to this. You all read your ingredients, please. Make sure you don't be like that. Don't be like the Gorilla Glue lady. Don't do any
Not
of that.
appropriate.
Not appropriate. Okay.
Okay.
But we are back for another week. We want to say, I think Valentine's Day is coming up. That's why we've got our little hearts and everything. Happy Valentine's Day. We are lovers in the Christ of the Lord. So we love every day, all day, 365, 24/7. As much. But yeah, if you're going out, have a good time. We hope that you enjoy your weekend. Keep it safe. And don't let nobody make you a February 15th lover. Amen. How are you doing today?
I'm great. I'm excited about this episode. We're going to get into the nitty
and the gritty. It's about to go deep. We're about to see you in friendship court. We have now returned to friendship court with the Honorable Judge Tarrah presiding. You may take your seat. Today, Your Honor, on the docket, we have a doozy. We have the plaintiff, Alex, versus defendant, Jamie, in the case of avoiding conflict. Alex, plaintiff, has been friends with Jamie, the defendant, since college. They, along with a few others in their circle, are in a group chat. Alex, the plaintiff, feels like Jamie, the defendant, has always been sort of standoffish when it comes to disagreement, but seems to always do things that are inconsiderate. Recently, Alex, plaintiff, has been feeling the pattern of Jamie, defendant, doing things and then not wanting to talk about it very aggravating. A few weeks ago, Jamie, the defendant, was over an hour late to a group dinner planned weeks in advance without texting or letting anyone know. Then, Jamie, defendant, ditched weekend plans with the group last minute and ghosted the group chat for a few days. After a few other incidents, Alex, plaintiff, sent Jamie, defendant, a message saying, "Hey, been feeling a little weird with you the last few weeks. Just wanted to check in." To which Jamie, the defendant, reacted with a thumbs up and nothing else. Days turned into weeks, and Jamie, the defendant, stopped responding in the group chat. But Alex, the plaintiff, could see them liking Instagram stories and posting like nothing was wrong. Eventually, Alex, the plaintiff, sent one last message. "Did I do something?" ? To which Jamie, the defendant, replied, "I don't want to argue or quote unquote make this a thing," and assumed space would let everything cool down. Alex, the plaintiff, is frustrated and doesn't know what to do next. They don't want to mess up the group, but they also don't want to let Jamie, the defendant, think it's okay to never want to communicate. So in the case of Alex versus Jamie on the charge of avoiding conflict, how do you find the defendant? And following your ruling, please give your sentencing. This is a doozy.
It really is, counselor. And I'm really gonna have to think long and hard about this one. Long and hard. All right, I have come to my decision, and I have to say that Jamie, the defendant, is really struggling. I have to say that because of his actions, not communicating about not being available for the events, we really value friendship events here at Friendship Court. And if you don't know about that, take a look at our former episodes. We really should take a look at how he handled that situation. It's not a problem to have something to do. It is a problem to not communicate about what you have to do. It's important that you take a little bit of time and value the people that you're spending time with and value the people that want to spend time with you. So because of that, and because of him not initiating any contact to make sure that people felt cared for and knew what was going on with him, I'm going to have to rule in favor of the plaintiff. Woo. Jamie, you are guilty of avoiding conflict, and I hereby sentence you to watch our entire episode today on conflict and avoidance and our previous episodes. In addition to that, I sentence you to have a one-on-one time in the mirror with yourself about your behavior and about how you're interacting with your friends. And lastly, I sentence you to a conversation with your friend group where you will apologize for your behavior and let them know that you're excited to remedy and learn more about how to be a better friend.
Well, you all heard it here. And Judge, may I add, I feel like that sentencing was fair and just. Well, I would say court is adjourned.
And now it's time to take out the trash.
Take out the trash.
Take out the trash right now. Take out the trash. Take out the trash. Take out the trash right now.
Yeah. All right. This is the part of class where we talk about the things that we have done to help us clean up the mess in our lives. So this week's Take Out the Trash segment, I wanted to talk about decorating your space.
Oh, I love that.
As someone who does thoroughly enjoy home decor, picking out stuff, and I am by no means, let me just put this in there.
Martha Stewart,
or anyone who does this for a living, who truly can. I'm colorblind, so I do the best that I can with what I have. But I do like looking at stuff. I like coming home and feeling cozy, and different things like that. So I found that when I didn't decorate my spaces, I lacked creativity. There were just certain things that would happen. And so when that started to happen, I kind of actually researched and tried to study, what was the correlation between that? And there are several researches and studies that show that decorating your space is like a mood enhancer. So the Journal of Psychology found that people who have personalized spaces with meaningful items such as photos or artwork experience higher levels of happiness and a stronger sense of well-being. It highlights how a personalized environment makes people feel more at home and emotionally stable. There's also studies that show that your bedroom environment obviously plays a key role in your sleep quality. So bedrooms that are thoughtfully decorated and contain cool and dark or quiet elements promote better sleep. So soft lighting, comfortable bedding are essentially crucial factors. And then studies also show that a clutter-free and serene sleep environment can reduce anxiety and help you not only sleep better but fall asleep faster.
Yes, that makes so much sense.
And then the last study that I saw was that if you deal with like control or mental health issues, the concept of losing control can be honed in with one's environment and space. And so things like decorating a space to suit personal preferences boosts self-esteem, reduces stress, and the sense of control enhances a mental well-being and promotes a sense of agency or essentially like dominance for an individual. So I said all that to say that everybody's space looks different. I want to say I probably started taking ownership of my space early on, like youth. I would characterize myself as fortunate enough. I had my own room very young, even though I had siblings. Like I think I stopped sharing rooms with my sibling that's closest in age to me around maybe like 8. So once I got my own room at 8, I was very adamant about like, this is what I want and let's do this color. And thankfully I had parents who were like, yeah, okay, fine. Things within reason for sure. And from then on, I really just took pride in it. Like in college, I decorated my space. I really just always wanted to make things my own. And I never realized until I did studies and research that it correlated to so many things within me. Like I do like to feel in control of certain things, and I do like calming and comfy spaces, and I do like essentially people to feel cozy when they're in my space, and I love sleep. So I try to make my room as compatible with rest as possible. And, that is not to say, like, if you don't have your own full space, like let's say you don't have your own apartment, try to do what you can with the space that you have. If you just have a room in the house, if you only have half of a room, if you're sharing a room, if you're in a dormitory, whatever you can do. If even your locker, I think I remember decorating my locker in high school, like putting up photos of me and my friends, and having like stickers. I think like Anne Frank at the time or somebody was like really big, so I like had stickers. Lisa Frank.
Frank. I was like in the attic during the Holocaust.
Oh my gosh. Oh, Lisa Frank. My bad. Lisa Frank.
Oh yeah,
was
I remember
popular
okay.
when I was a little
Backpacks,
child.
pencils,
yeah, I was when we were little kids.
cases.
I was like putting those stickers everywhere on my backpacks, my notebooks, everything. And so, those, I think, when you can like start with those small things, it builds up.
Yeah,
and then it's
absolutely.
like, oh yeah, I like customization, I like personal. And it doesn't take a lot of money.
It doesn't.
Like
Just creativity.
Yeah, just creativity. And in college, I used like photos of me and my friends to decorate my space more than anything, like more than personalized artwork or things. So I just, bought inexpensive frames or just pinned them to the wall, really, like with tags. And now, I paint. I take the cheap route and try to do like painting myself, and then I paint the walls back. And I'm not gonna hold you, that is a lot of work. And every time I do it, I say I'm never gonna do it again, and then I do it. But it brings me joy. I like to have color, and I like to have that. So I found that that's just one small thing that you can do to kind of declutter your mind, declutter yourself. And I've also found that the more pride you take in your space, the more you pay attention to who you allow into it.
Ooh.
So it's like if you are someone who has taken time to cultivate a space and put energy and money and different things, you're a little bit less inept to just allow anyone to come in and treat it any kind of way.
Come on.
And then, you know what I'm saying? And if you're not allowing people to treat your space any kind of way, you probably are not allowing people to treat you any kind of way. So it all kind of like works in tandem with one another. So yeah, I guess I would encourage you all this week to maybe try to find one personalized item to put into your space that speaks to you. So we're taking out clutter, and kicking out anxiety and trying to reduce stress and replacing it with something that brings us happiness. So we will see you over and back in class.
Class is in session.
Have you ever stayed quiet just to keep the peace?
Even though something inside you felt off.
And then later you just replay the conversation in your head wishing you'd said it more?
But instead you chose silence. Let's talk about conflict avoidance and how it's costing you your friendships.
Before we go deeper, let's do a quick intro into attachment styles. Attachment styles describe how we learned to connect, trust, and protect ourselves in relationships. They're shaped by early experiences, but they don't stop evolving. There are a few different styles, but today we're going to focus on one that shows up a lot in friendships.
Absolutely. And I'm so glad we're finally doing this because I myself have had avoidant attachment styles, and then I know so many people that experience this avoidant attachment style, and it really affects how they show up in their friendships. So I'm like so incredibly excited to be able to share this. I feel like this is like one of those things that had I known this sooner, I would have been so much better off.
I know, and I was familiar with attachment styles and doing quizzes to figure that out, but I never really correlated until we talked about how it does play a pivotal role in the way that you show up in all of your relationships, but friendships for sure.
For sure. So what is an avoidant attachment style? An avoidant attachment style is when closeness feels overwhelming and independence feels safer. Okay, so when you're close to people or in proximity with people where they're wanting more of you, it feels overwhelming to you. And so you would rather be alone or by yourself. People with this pattern, they often understand and feel like it's better to not need too much. Like needing is a problem. And they feel better when they handle things on their own. And so when a conflict arises or comes up, distance feels safer for them. They feel more comfortable in being distant with the person that they're in having conflict with, or, things are a little rocky with. It's way more comfortable to be distant than to be in a discomforting situation.
Right. And so one thing I noticed, and I think this probably played a role in me trying not to really think about when I was doing these quizzes or figuring these things out about myself, that they would show up, is because I often felt like a lot of people would like make it their identity. You take personality quizzes,
yes,
your zodiac, and you're a Scorpio, so you're just XYZ. Like, it's not your identity. Like,
or use it to make excuses for
that part, really, just to use it to just do whatever you want.
This is just how I am,
But I really do feel like attachment styles are more tools than identities, and so you can use these like identifiers really to show you about yourself, and things that may be present but don't put you in a box, or have to like just be labeled like you're this, you're that. Like, even if you learn that you conflict avoidant or you have avoidance attachment styles, you don't have to label yourself avoidant.
Yes.
Like, they're tools to point this out, and then you can use other tools or other systems in place to change those styles or change those things within yourself that you may not like, and become a better person.
I love that you said that. They are tools and not an identity or a label, right? A label to put you in a box, but they're literally a tool to help you discover a pattern of behavior that you've been exhibiting that you don't like, and that is ruining your friendships, right? And so it's super easy to get caught up in that. We don't want you to get caught up in that and just say, well, this is, I'm avoiding. No, it's like, hey, I'm exhibiting some of these traits. I might need to have some self-awareness and start working on becoming more secure and becoming more aware of what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So how does conflict avoidance show up in our friendships? It can look like a lot of things, but it definitely looks like avoiding hard conversations, for sure. Like, I don't want to talk to them because they're going to make me talk about something I don't want to talk. So I'm just going to avoid them at all costs, right? Minimizing your feelings. So, you feel some type of way. You feel some type of way, but you just stuff it down. Instead of talking about it, because you don't want to have what you deem is hard. You don't want to have a not positive conversation.
Yeah, because sometimes people will be like, are you okay? Or was that fine? You be like, oh, I'm fine. I'm okay.
But
good. Deep down, you're great. Like,
I'm not fine.
The Arthur fist is on the inside of you. You balling up your fist.
Yeah. Arthur is like this. You're angry.
I'm angry.
I'm angry. You're angry, but you stuff those feelings all the way down and you don't acknowledge them. And it also saying you're fine when you're not. Pulling back instead of addressing issues that you have. So instead of like you're with your friend, they say something that makes you feel away, you just close up and shut down.
Yeah.
And they're like, what's wrong with you? You were just fine. Nothing. I just don't feel well.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
How many of us have been that friend or know a friend?
Oh, know that friend. I had both.
Both.
Yes, and. Yes, and.
Both of them.
Okay, no, it's fine. I'm good.
You're
and then
not
you
good.
slamming cabinets and stomping around or whatever. Or back in the day when you could slam the phone down where people could hear it.
Now you don't call me back. You're not answering my text messages.
I see you looking at my Instagram stories.
I seen you.
It's crazy.
So we've been both. And so you seem like you're easygoing because you're not saying anything.
I love that. You seem like you're easygoing because you're not saying anything. But nothing about you is easy.
Or going.
You're actually stopped up. Like you're right there on the inside of yourself in your mind. That's crazy.
Inside, you're on fire.
Yeah.
You're angry.
Or sad or offended or whatever.
Yeah, but the outside, you're just playing a little role. And so that is not good for your mental health. It's not good. It's not good for your body. You're not living in truth and authenticity. It's this
it's like
cognitive dissonance.
Yeah,
you have to show up one way, but inside you feel another way. Mm-hmm. That's not good for you.
Yeah, and it really, really stems from like fear.
100% fear.
Like I don't want to be rejected. I don't want to have a disconnection. I don't want to like offend this person and then they don't want to talk to me or be my friend anymore.
Yeah. Or you just think nobody will understand you anyway, so why even try?
Which is a lie from the pit of hell.
Yeah.
You are not the only one going through the thing that you're going through, trust me.
But it's so crazy how we have these scenarios and these ways of thinking in our mind that is totally true to us. Not based on truth. Never has this person rejected you when you came, brought them something. But in our minds, it's just, this is how it is for me.
Our perception is our reality, and we have had a conversation on this before. You can check it out in previous seasons, but I want to share this scripture because you should never sacrifice your voice. Mm-hmm. So Romans 12:2 says, "Don't copy the behavior and customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Then you will learn to know God's will for you, which is good, pleasing, and perfect." Like his will is not for you to have to sit in silence and bear the grunt and just go through life and take it on the chin and never speak up for yourself or never say anything or, live in fear. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like he's giving us not a spirit of fear, but a power, love, and a sound mind.
I love that verse.
So, yeah.
I love that. What speaks to me in that verse is but let God transform you into a new person. Yeah. How is he going to do that? He's going to change the way you think. And that's what we're doing. That
Well, Dale just got to give you on the back. That he is going to change the way you think.
He's going to change the way you think. He's going to point out. God is going to say, I know you feel these feelings. And you might have been feeling that since you were a kid, but that doesn't make it true.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to change the way you think it. So that's why we encourage you to like read your Bible, study, to have quiet time, to have devotional time, and to use tools and try these books. That's why we have Take Out the Trash, because these types of behaviors and methods and help us to take out the trash,
the garbage within ourselves.
You live in this world, you're going to pick up some garbage along the way.
Yeah, it's just inevitable.
It's inevitable.
Your heart can get hardened if you're not careful. Because life, you say this a lot, and it's so true. Life can be devastating sometimes.
Yes.
It's like
life
be life in did life, will life, has life for real.
Casey knew something.
And I love that you said like God will help you deal with the feelings which are very real to you. What God does is validate. Yes, these emotions you are feeling are true and valid, and you're going through this. But here's the truth of the situation.
Right.
Like you are creating a narrative based off of the emotions that you're having.
Yes.
Where your emotions are true, but the narrative is not.
Yeah.
So
feelings aren't facts. They are not facts. They are feelings, and when you're dealing in the world of feelings, they are not the end all be all.
No.
Sometimes you have to tell yourself how to feel. You're like, if you just let your feelings go crazy, you don't feel like going to work, but you get up and go.
Okay, let's be real about it.
You don't feel like going to school, but you get up and go. You don't feel like meeting your commitments. You made a commitment. You don't feel like, how many memes have we said? It's like me when I made the commitment, versus when
the day of.
Yeah, when I'm
on the Tuesday showing up for the event I
made when I felt happy
on Thursday. Like, all the time, you don't feel like cooking.
You don't feel like cooking. But you don't feel like working out. You don't feel like taking your vitamins. What do we feel like doing? Sleeping, eating. It's like so many things are going to take you knowing that this is better for you.
Mm-hmm. And feel like, if you don't, I love that you said, like, feelings aren't facts, and you have to range them in. Essentially, you have to hone them in, because they will become big. Like, you remember when I don't know about you, but when I was a teenager, if I felt something, that's it. I'm like, this is the end of my world. Like, I can't go back to school. This is done. Like, you're done.
You're done. So
there was nothing you could do or say to make this not as big to me as it was
at the time.
Yeah,
it was life altering.
And if I had tools at that moment to be like, you know what, this too shall pass.
Man,
this happened. I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay.
Yeah, it is so crazy that we can get charged up based on a feeling. I'm from Chicago. We say charged up.
Okay.
So get
is that like when y'all be dancing?
No,
it's just charged. Okay.
Like, that means like have a lot of feelings, right? Okay. And it becomes very intense, and you make life altering decisions.
That's it.
With the intensity of these feelings. And I'm not here to say your feelings don't have a purpose, but they were not designed to control your life. They make powerful decisions. They were not
based on those emotions are so big and erratic that they literally had to make a crime about it, crime of passion. Because if you let that emotion of passion gets too big, it can force you to commit malice towards another individual.
And then we also have to look at how our feelings are subject to change and subjective based on what's going on in our lives. Are we sleeping? Are we eating well? Are we taking care of ourselves? Are we, our hormones balanced? Come on, ladies. Are we at a certain time of the month?
Let's just really be real.
Can we be honest?
Just one of them days
that a girl goes through
when I'm angry inside.
Don't wanna take it out. Listen, it's a real thing, and so that's why we just can't. Feelings are signals. We learned that from last week. They're signals. They're meant to let you know, hey, something's not right here. It needs to be addressed, right? But they are not the basis from which we decide and control our entire lives.
Absolutely.
And so God gave us a brain. God gave us a mind. And he said, I'm going to help you. I'm going to transform you by helping you change how you think about it. It didn't say how you feel about it. It said how you think about it.
Yeah.
And so what is a feeling that we often can have that can control everything is fear. I know at the base of most of my decisions was fear for a long time, for a majority of my life.
Wow.
I think in the last 2 years, I stopped being afraid of most things.
Wow.
Just in the last 2 years. If I looked at a lot of my decisions, it was a fear of something.
Yeah, go back to the actual root
of it. Fear of, and it's just like, but that is not how we are supposed to be making decisions.
Not at all.
We should not. Fear is not a good enough reason to not do something or to do something. So, the core fear of avoidant attachment is, if I need too much, I'll lose myself. I'll be overwhelmed. I am unsafe. I fear being hurt or let down.
Wow.
How many of us have identified with that? That resonates with us. Like, man, a lot of the decisions I make is because I fear being overwhelmed. I fear being let down. I fear being disappointed. I can't handle another disappointment. So if it looks like it might disappoint me, I'm out.
Peace.
It's really about this attachment style. It's really about self-protection. It's about self-preservation.
What the appearance of self-protection and self-preservation. It's not real though.
Yeah, I believe that if I do this, I can protect myself. I can preserve myself. You know, and over time, what is it? How does it handle? How does it show up in friendship, and what does it produce? A lot of time, distance.
Yeah.
You can't be close because you're too afraid
that
they're going to hurt you. So you keep everybody at a distance, like you Heisman everybody. Okay.
All right.
You've come close enough. It's like one-sided relationships.
Yeah.
You other people can show up and you're not able to show up because you're like keeping everybody away, and you don't get deep emotionally because you don't want to be hurt. You don't want to be too attached.
Everything's surface level.
Because if I'm too attached to you, I can't just drop you and be okay. I will feel some type of way. I'll feel away. So closeness requires honesty, and not perfection. You don't have to be perfect to be close. You just need to be brave.
And you don't have to bear it all at once. Like, you don't have to be like, here's my life story. And
that's not safe, right? You should vet people. Yeah, you should vet people.
For sure. So, like, if these patterns, like, resonate, let's think about how you can create better habits.
But can I say something? Because when I talk, sometimes I got these images in my mind. It reminds me of, like, when you try to hold on, the image of when you like try to hold on to something and you just keep your hand closed, right? Because you're like, I'm not going to deal with anything else. But if you keep it that way, you also aren't open for something new. And the Bible says, like, guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it flows the issues of life. What does a guard do?
Vet it makes sure that the threat doesn't get through, but a guard will allow what's supposed to come through to go through.
So we should guard our hearts, not shut down and lock and barricade
it,
because somebody has to come through. I feel it.
When she get there, y'all.
I feel it. I feel the shake. Okay. Jesus had to experience both Judas and Peter. Judas, I heard a preacher say, Judas had a bad heart. Peter had a bad day. And so everybody is not a Judas. Just because you have experienced someone who betrayed you and hurt you in the past doesn't mean everybody is that way. That's good. So Peter ended up becoming like huge in the Bible. I mean, really shared the gospel and was like a huge part of the ministry of sharing the love of Christ. And so someone in your life, people are going to have bad days, but that doesn't mean they're bad people. And that doesn't mean they're not going to bring goodness to your life.
That's so good. Yeah. That's so good.
So
I love that. I remember we had a conversation maybe last season where you said somebody is the Peter and somebody is the Judas. Yeah. And you have to be able to differentiate, use your discernment to know which is which, because if you close your heart off because of the Judas, you never encounter the Peter.
You never encounter Peter or all the other wonderful people that God is sending to your life to make it better.
And the people of the world don't encounter you when you do that.
That's so good.
So whereas we had Peter,
Well, he's that minister to him.
whereas you had Peter, who shared the gospel and provided so much clarity and gives us so much insight in the Bible and who Jesus is and what God desires from us. You could be the person shutting that person down because they've never encountered you, because you decided you won't allow yourself. Like, I've been hurt before, I've been let down before, people aren't reliable. No, that person wasn't reliable.
Yes.
Not people as a whole. And I know it can be frightening and it can sound cliche, but everybody is not bad. There are good people in the world. And when I say good, I don't mean this like quintessential thought of morality. I mean like people who have a heart to be kind to people
and mean you
well.
Well.
Want to see you do well in life in whatever capacity that means, not just financially, but spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally. Want to create safe spaces. And though we all fall short, because clearly you've had some bad days too. We all have bad days. You the villain in somebody's story.
Yes.
They want to be better and do better.
I mean, like, it reminds me when you just talking, it just reminded me, and then we'll move on really quick, but it reminded me of Jonathan and David. Like, Jonathan, he had a love in his heart for David to see, and that had to come from God, because Jonathan should not have loved David, should not have befriended David, because he was his nemesis. Essentially, he was the one that was going to stop him from attaining the throne after his father. So he should not have loved David. That was not ideal but God gave Jonathan a love for David because God knew David needed that friendship for his calling. You need friendship for your calling. Like, it's something you're designed to do. God has placed a purpose inside of you, and you cannot live life in a vacuum. What does that mean? You cannot be an island and think you're going to get there alone and all by yourself, and you're going to be Tom Cruise.
Get off the island.
And all you talk to is a volleyball, because you cut everybody out because you can't trust anybody. And so you would rather be alone as a castaway than to try again and to allow the right people, vetted people, trustworthy people to be a part of your life. And that's not God's will for you.
It's not his best. It's not his best for you, for sure. So let's look at how we can create better habits to address some of these avoidant.
This is so good. I'm so excited
that we can try to normalize. So you have to normalize healthy conflict. I often think about how I did debate in school for quite a few years, and so it does teach you how to have healthy disagreement in a sense, and like conflict. You don't have to raise your voice. You don't have to get angry. Debate literally teaches you to take the emotion out of it.
So good.
You come with fact. This is fact. Here's the proposed proposition. This side is saying no, we should do this. This side is saying no, we should do this. And it all has to be fact. You cannot say anything that is not true. So I think when you think about conflict, it has to be, you can have moments of disagreement that don't have to be these big blowouts.
At all. They don't have to be at that at all.
Like we often talk about this because thankfully Tarrah and I, though we've had it in other friendships with other people, our friendship hasn't experienced a lot of like deafening conflict where we're just always like have had to have arguments or these like big disagreements. But that dog in college, if you're a new listener, if you're returning, you've heard this story, you're gonna hear it again. In college, Tarrah and I were living together, and I got a dog and did not say anything. Now, for a reference, Tarrah worked at the complex that we were living at, and pets were not allowed. What happened was I had a friend who asked me to keep the dog for 2 weeks initially. Mm-hmm. And then for a reason could no longer take the dog back. I did not want to rehome the dog or give the dog away. So I decided I'll just keep the dog. Did I have a conversation about keeping the dog? No. Did I think about the fact that Tarrah worked at the complex and this was jeopardizing her finishing school, having funding, having housing? No. Me and that little Pomeranian were in love. And I was like, you are the cutest little fluff ball that I've ever seen, and I want to keep you. And now we have a dog. And in my mind, I was thinking, everybody loves dogs. The dog is just like fun and cute. And it's just like this little ball running around. But in Tarrah's mind, she was like, I hate that dog. And I don't know why.
No, let's be clear. I love dogs, but I was angry inside.
Right. And so she was not seeing it the way that I was seeing it, but she wasn't voicing that.
And that is so good, because that brings us to our next point. Then what do we have to do next? Once we normalize the healthy conflict, we have to name those feelings. And I was not doing that.
No.
I was avoiding the feelings.
She was, so, you know what I'm saying? We often talk about how we did everything together. We would eat, come home, hang out on the couch. She started coming home, going upstairs to her room, not eating dinner. I'm like, after a couple of days, and as somebody who, you know, I grew up in a household where it was like, what's wrong with you? Like, what's going on? I was like, are you okay? Like, what is wrong with you? And I think at first you were like, I'm fine. And the Lord really had to sit down and tell her, you're not fine. You're angry about her keeping this dog.
Okay, let me tell this part. Okay, so I'm upstairs in the bed eating Wendy's because
she took her food to her room. She never does that.
I'm eating in the bed and I got an attitude. I'm like, I don't know why she think I have an attitude. She just getting on my nerves or something in my mind. I'm just irritated. And I was just like, what is wrong with me? I'm so mad. And I was like, you're mad. That's why you have to have a relationship with God. Because sometimes you so disconnected from your feelings because maybe you grew up in a house, nobody cared about your feelings, whatever. Who knows?
It happens, yeah.
And or you're not used to having a best friend at this level or living with somebody this or whatever. True. So I'm like, he's like, you're mad about the dog. I didn't even know that my anger and frustration was about the dog. It took a moment of reflection and clarity for me to even come up with that. And so once I was like, oh, that's why I feel a way. I felt some type of way, but I didn't know what type of way. I didn't know what type of way, but I was frustrated and I was angry and I was hurt.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, doesn't she see I work here? This is like, I'm trying to cover for you and they're going to know that I had a dog and I knew like, this is
maintenance
bad.
Came into the house.
Yeah.
And saw the dog. That was really, and I feel like that was the Lord.
Yeah.
Because something had to show both of us.
Yeah.
What was happening.
Yes. So don't wait till resentment builds up like me. Don't wait. Try something simple like, directly having that conversation.
Yeah, and
before it gets really big. Small conversations.
And let me just say, I think this goes into an alignment with it too, because you have to separate the discomfort from danger, which regulates your nervous system to let you know you feel alarmed. And at the root of it could be anything, like you said, fear. But you named the feeling and then took the step and courage to come to me about it. And you didn't know how I was going to react.
Yeah.
I could have been like, no, I'm keeping the dog, whatever. But because I cared about the relationship, because she showed light on something I didn't think about. It was not even an issue to me. For me, I was like, oh, we'll be able to get around it because can I spill my tea from? I have siblings, but we're vast in age a little bit. So a piece of me for a while was an only child. And so I was just used to doing whatever I wanted to do. Like, I didn't really have to like answer, you want to do this? And I'm going to make a way. Like, you say no, but I'm going to get to the yes somehow, some way. So in my mind, I was like, they say we can't handle dogs. It's fine. I know other people in this neighborhood. They got pets. We're going to be good. I didn't think about, oh, God, this is my friend. Like, she works here. She could lose her job, which then she wouldn't have housing. She wouldn't have income. You know what I'm saying? We're in our final years of college. We've come so far. It was inconsiderate of me. I was being selfish and very inconsiderate. And I did not realize, because as somebody who felt like I'm caring, compassionate, and all these things, which were true.
This is
I had a moment of selfishness. Yeah. Back to that bad day. My heart was not to maliciously be like, let me put her in this situation and make sure she, you know what I'm saying?
Malicious.
No, my heart was just in a place on myself, thinking about me, what I wanted at the time, which was the dog.
Yeah.
And I'm going to keep it. So, you know what I'm saying? I love that. But I made the decision. And I got rid of the dog. I mean, the dog was gone within the week.
Yeah. And so from my side, for someone who was used to avoiding conflict, like deathly afraid of conflict, didn't want to be rejected, didn't want to be abandoned, didn't want to be, like, I had to understand in my heart that I have to confront this. Like, I cannot not confront this. And hard conversations doesn't mean I'm not safe.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean like you have to take yourself out of this survival mode where it's like do or die. And if I like, you're not gonna die. You're
really growing when you push yourself out of your comfort zone like that.
Yes. If you have this conversation and it doesn't go how you want, you're still gonna live. I have a brother. He used to say, "But did you die though?"
But did you die?
He used to be like, this is happening, this is happening. He's like, and you gonna live to tomorrow? And it really, you know, he wasn't trying to dismiss my feelings, but he was trying to put things in perspective. Like, you're going to live. This is gonna pass. And I need you to bring it out of this catastrophic do or die situation. Like, I need you to bring it into a place where it's, you can address this.
Yeah.
And be okay.
And you need to be able to address it. And regardless of how the outcome would have been, whether I got rid of the dog or not, it showed Tarrah that she can have the hard conversation and grow. Yeah. And then it helped moving forward to be like, okay, I got through that regardless. Yeah. I can have the next conversation.
Because avoidance, when you avoid it really, you think you're in peace. Like I was avoiding you. I was peaceful.
And you were not peaceful.
To me, I wasn't dealing with it, but we were not at peace.
At all.
We were not having fun like we used to. We were not, being our normal happy-go-lucky time. So, it felt like peace to me because I'm not dealing with it. But it's not peace. It's actually creating all this distance. And that's what it did.
It was literal distance.
The elephant in the room. It's a big elephant. It's a huge elephant in the middle of our house. I'm not talking to you. I'm not hanging out with you. And it was so funny because I could have been in my mind, how dare she? She doesn't understand. She doesn't love me. She doesn't care. But And it was just like, no, she just wasn't thinking about that. No, she just didn't know. No, she just wanted a dog. And it's not that deep. She wasn't trying to sabotage my life. And
I really wasn't trying to.
She just wasn't. She loved me. Like, love me down. Make sure I'm okay every day. She just had a moment where she was distracted and got off guard. And so I think it's so great because we were able to keep our intimacy as friends because we had the hard conversation. Mm-hmm. And that really wasn't that hard.
It really wasn't.
I literally went in there, laid on her bed, and we just talked about it. And then she was like, okay, I'm getting rid of the dog. I'm so sorry. And that was it. And so it's this big ugly monster. That's what fear does. False evidence appearing real.
Yes,
it's this big
come
ugly
on.
monster. Like, they're gonna hate you and it's gonna be so bad and they're gonna leave you. And even if you have a conversation and they do leave, you will not. You will live to continue on and meet another person, another friend.
And can I just say, it was a two-way street because the feelings weren't real. I could have been in my feelings and be like, I ain't do nothing to her. Before she even had the conversation
so
with me, I'd be
true.
like, I don't know what her problem is.
Well, I do all this stuff for her.
Right.
And this one time I want a dog. Like, she can't understand.
Yeah, it could have been because before the Lord didn't get to me first. He got to her. I'm thoughtful to think if I would have started to get into what's wrong with her and why she got an attitude. She trying to pull away or whatever. She don't want to be friends no more. Okay, fine. The Lord probably could have told me. He may not. Who knows? He could have told me about the dog. I could have been like, well, I want the dog. I'm keeping the dog. It could have been, and it could have blown up. I could have been like, okay, well, if she don't want to talk to me, then that's fine. I don't have to talk to her. And it could have just kept going and going and going.
Going and going.
But I was like, I noticed, and instead of being like,
Forget.
I'm gonna let her just have her moment. Maybe she on a cycle, she'll come around. And maybe it could have been blown up bigger. I was like, no. I was like, are you okay? What's wrong? Are you something wrong? And then that opened the door for her to become curious and ask the Lord, well, what is wrong with me?
What is wrong with me? And do you see how this interaction made me a better person, made her a better person? That's what friendship and connection does. Like, it makes us better. You cannot get better on your own by yourself all the time. It's only so much you can do. Relationship and connection is meant to refine you. That's what it does.
Yeah, learning to face conflict isn't about confrontation or being this confrontational person.
Yeah, it's about being honest enough to stay connected to your people,
period,
to the people that God sent in your life to be a blessing to you.
Man. Oh man.
Ooh, that was
we
good.
had it.
This was good.
So let's look at what we have for homework this week. We're gonna do something called the cost benefit map. So your assignment is to create 2 columns. If you haven't realized, we like columns here. And you want to write it down, you can use acronyms. Write a column on one side. You're going to do short-term comfort, STC. Short-term comfort to avoiding conflict. And list out what that short-term comfort is. I don't have to talk about it. No one is quote-unquote mad at me. And then on the other side, you're going to do long-term cost of avoiding conflict. My feelings go unresolved. The situation continues to arise. I potentially lose a friend because I never addressed the elephant in the room. So on each side, you're going to list out, try to do at least 3 on each side. And then think about which side over time matters the most to you. So does not talking about it and having to live in fear and just be like, you know what, shut it down, does that matter more over time? Or does not losing friends, being able to have my feelings be validated and met and not have to be shoved down? So do some reflection time with that.
This is so good.
And we can't wait to get back to you and hear what you have to say about it next week. So until the next class, peace.